This morning, we have some insane, crazy news surrounding Mykhailo Mudryk, as he has been provisionally suspended after testing positive for a banned substance. What's going on? Today, my friends, I'll be breaking down the reports, but on top of that, we'll be discussing the latest wonderkid targets, as well as our potential double raid on 2 Borussia Dortmund stars. So we got a ton of things to get through. I hope you guys enjoy. Get involved, hit that like button. Don't forget to catch yesterday's 5 things we learned video after that epic 2-1 win against Brentford. Sit back, relax, and let's unpack today's reports. Now, we waste no more time in discussing this morning's insane reports surrounding Mykhailo Mudryk, as we've learned that currently he has been provisionally suspended by the FA after he tested positive for a banned substance called meldonium. Now, if you guys are curious what meldonium is a medication that has been used to treat heart issues like low blood flow and angina, but when athletes take it, it can significantly boost the endurance and recovery rate for them. It was banned in 2016, and since then there have been a few examples of athletes that have face minor bans or significant ones for taking the banned substance. Maria Sharapova, the women's tennis player, she faced a 15-month suspension after taking it. Boxer Alexander Povetkin as well, his fight was postponed due to taking it. So it's looking absolutely insane, and it doesn't do anything for their career or their reputation afterwards. For Mudryk, this is a massive setback because he was starting to find himself again this season. He was starting to show some good form. Yes, he was reduced to playing in the Conference League, but he was taking that opportunity with both hands, and it explains now why we haven't seen him play, because this incident first took place after his recent international game with the Ukrainian national team. It's a shame because he's got 5 goals and 3 assists, and you'd imagine that he would have played the last few games at least. This potential minor setback could be an opportunity for maybe young talent like Tyreek George and others to potentially now be that replacement for him. Could we make moves in the January window? I'd be surprised by that, but right now, this is devastating news for Mudryk. Now, let's discuss the statements that have come out from the club and from Mudryk himself. As the club revealed, both the club and Mykhailo fully support the FA's testing program on all our players, including Mykhailo, are regularly tested. Mykhailo has confirmed categorically that he has never knowingly used any banned substances. Both Mykhailo and the club will now work with the relevant authorities to establish what has caused this adverse finding. The club will not be commenting any further. Mudryk revealed on IG that I can confirm that I have been notified that a sample that I provided to the FA contained a banned substance. This has come as a complete shock, as I have never knowingly used any banned substances or broken any rules, and I'm working closely with my team to investigate how this could have happened. I know that I have not done anything wrong and remain hopeful that I will be back on the pitch soon. I cannot say any more now due to confidentiality of the process, but I will as soon as I can. And right now, I hope that Mudryk gets through this. I feel sorry for the kid. I think this is very unfortunate. I don't think this is fair. And this now moves on to the final part of this news segment now, because this story gets crazier, because allegations seem to suggest that there has been some alleged tampering from the Russians during the time when Mudryk was on international duty, and they may have tampered, of course, to put this banned substance in his system. That is a massive allegation, but I don't know. Can I at least maybe accept the innocence of Mudryk's part? Yes, I mean, I don't see why he would feel the need to take that, especially when maybe he hasn't really been suffering through like a rigorous, demanding season, because he's not playing week in, week out. Now, the FA have a very strict framework when it comes to cases and issues like this. Even if the player didn't knowingly put the substance in their system, they're still susceptible to being banned. It's still considered a violation. So this leaves 2 options. The first option is there's a possibility that instead of getting the full severity of a 4-year ban, it could be dramatically reduced. For example, he could argue that, maybe he unknowingly took a supplement or whatever, and if there's evidence that supports this, there's potential for this ban to be reduced from 4 years even down to a month. But it comes down to Mudryk and his team having the right evidence to prove foul play. But this then requires detailed testing and support from experts. But one other small possibility is that this is a medical exemption, but based on the reaction of the player, of course, he seems to have nothing wrong with his heart, so this isn't the issue. But realistically, the only way this could be seriously fought and tackled is if it's reported that sabotage has taken place. And this now means that if Mudryk and his team can prove this foul play, if they can prove this intentional contamination from third parties or whoever, this could prove a valid defense to fight these claims. In the meantime now, we have to wait for this investigation to provide some strong evidence, because he's provisionally suspended, which means that he can't play for us or Ukraine right now. But I can't ignore these strong suggestions that foul play has been at hand here, because the Athletic in their report revealed that, mysterious anonymous sources that of course have to protect their privacy revealed that he got tested for meldonium in November during international duty. Like, the timing of this just doesn't make any sense. It's too convenient. What's interesting is that a Ukrainian football channel called Take actually revealed yesterday that the banned substance was meldonium. So he must have some good sources to players and people in the football scene behind the scenes. So hopefully there's something to fight these allegations with. Listen, I don't wish anything ill on Mudryk, and to be honest, listen, I don't know the guy. I can only go off pure logic, to be honest with you. I can't logically understand why he would put himself in this situation. Him and his team or trainers or whatever, I don't know. If there's allegations that there's foul play at hand, I think they should be seriously investigated and seriously addressed. So in the meantime now, I know that the A sample's been in. They wait for the B sample now to, get properly tested, and hopefully, justice is done in this situation. So my friends, how do you feel about the story today? A bit of a surprising one. Let us know in the comments. And for the following stories, these are recorded a day in advance, but they're still relevant. So if I'm wearing different outfits, looking different, now you guys understand the context. Now let's end these reports in Germany today by focusing on Sky Deutschland's very interesting report earlier today. And they revealed that we are heavily following Karim Adeyemi and Gregor Kobel of Borussia Dortmund, and we would entertain making a double bid move to bring both of these players, one in January and the other in the summer window. Now let's start off by discussing what we know about Adeyemi. In the summer, it was revealed that he was on our striker or attacking player shortlist, and the club really rates him for his versatility across all attacking positions, as well as the fact that Adeyemi is one of the fastest, maybe top 3, top 5 fastest players in Europe. He started the season very well in 8 apps, 5 goals, 5 assists, but since October, he has been out with a muscular injury. But the good news is that this weekend he is set to be in the squad at least for Dortmund's game against Hoffenheim. So let's see what happens there. But it does seem like Adeyemi, who's only 22 years old, could be someone of great interest for us. Now, what's particularly interesting about this report is that it was revealed in the article that recently Adeyemi has left his agency and he has now signed for Epic Sports. And what's funny about that is that Epic Sports also represent Nicholas Jackson. And it's been reported that agents at Epic Sports and our owner Badad Iqbali have an excellent relationship. And a lot of times at this level in this sport, your relationships with agencies are very, very important. It's an interesting story, right? As we know, we are still potentially looking at signing another striker. Are we set to maybe revamp the team, maybe incrementally, nothing too big? If players like Mudryk or Nkunku decide, listen, I need to play elsewhere to get more minutes for the sake of my career, maybe we think to ourselves, okay, we replace them with a player that can play out wide and can also play up front too. So let's see what happens there. Obviously, the player's contract expires in 2027. Dortmund aren't forced to have to sell him for big money just yet, but it's not the first time that Adeyemi has been linked with us, because he has been of long-term interest to our directors at this football club. And this now leads us on to the final story surrounding Gregor Kobel, and it's been reported in this very same article that we set up some ifs and doubts surrounding Robert Sanchez, and it does seem like if we were to entertain signing a goalkeeper, this would happen in the summer window, and that makes quite a lot of sense. Now, Kobel is shown to be one of the up-and-coming world-class keepers of his generation. Absolute unit, great handling, key saves, steps up when it matters, and of course can distribute the ball as well. And we are looking for someone to provide that authority now. And I think, listen, every serious club that has won things, they've always had, without doubt, a serious keeper at the back. Again, his contract expires in 2028, and at the moment, the player isn't even thinking about leaving Dortmund just yet, and will only consider that if his professional ambitions don't get met. So, you know what? I simply see it like this. If we secure Champions League football, if we make an impact this season, we instantly become an incredibly attractive and sexy club for many serious players to consider in the summer. So yeah, I feel like we'll do business for maybe 2-3 positions, big ones, and we aren't going to do crazy things. So I'm really interested and excited to see what will happen in the next following windows. So my friends, that's all the reports now out from Germany, but let's end things by discussing some big reports surrounding more South American wonderkids, and I feel like you guys, you have to hear about these stories. So now we discuss Argentinian prodigy and wonderkid in 17-year-old Franco Mastantuono. Now, you guys should be familiar with this name. It's not the first time we've been linked with the player. As we last learned, Real Madrid were the favourites in the running to secure a position for the player in the future. However, things have kind of stalled surrounding this potential deal. It was revealed that Madrid were spotted holding conversations with, his agents and intermediaries, but that was quickly denied, naturally, because listen, for a player like this, you want to keep things under wraps, behind the scenes. You don't want to give any advantages to other interested clubs hoping to sign the talent. Mastantuono is currently protected by a 45 million release clause, and recent reports now suggest that we are prepared now to meet the release clause for the talent. Now, Mastantuono is of great interest to us, Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain, City, and a host of European powerhouses. But at the moment, the player is not even seriously considering his future until he turns 18, and he won't turn 18 until August next year. So technically, there is time for us to persuade him to sign for us and become part of this new exciting South American project here. And it's not the first time that I've read reports surrounding our interest in South American wonderkids saying the exact same thing, that we are prepared now to meet release clauses. The same reports were said around Esteval Willian and around Endrick. We decided against Endrick in the end, but then we committed to signing Esteval. And for talents like this, but you have to wait for them to turn 18 before they can even play for you, the groundwork you put in can be incredibly important. But I think to myself, what type of groundwork could work in our favor to sign Mastantuono? Because obviously, you can look towards the fact that Enzo is playing for us. We've recently signed Anselmino, who looks like an excellent centre-back from Boca Juniors. But then Mastantuono will have some serious competition here. Esteval Willian plays in the same position as him. Stylistically, they are very similar players. Alongside that, you have Cole Palmer still here, Madueke, Kendry Paez, and a host of left-footed attacking talent. Now, Mastantuono will only be 18 before he decides his future, and realistically, it could take him a few years before he's like a legitimate first-team player. But with someone of his ilk, and someone that's special, because I do feel like this is a very special kid, 5'11", physically, this guy's ready. Very broad upper body, incredible left foot, and he's the type of maverick player that I feel like big clubs now, they want to tie down instantly, because they're the difference makers, they're the game changers, they play the game differently. But I mean, we're benefiting from a player like this in Cole Palmer, and we've just signed Esteval Willian too, so I'm curious to know how the balance would even make sense with all these guys in your squad. But regardless, if you're not familiar with Franco, I mean, this kid for me is special. He doesn't shy away from defensive responsibilities. He will press high and he wins a lot of his tackles. That left foot is not just for very ambitious, brave dribbles through the harder teams, but it's cultured. He can smash the ball outside the box, inside the box. He can play the final ball. He scored an incredible free kick, I think, last year as well, and he's shown that he has the personality now to be playing for a club like River Plate with all the expectations and pressures on him from a very, very young age. And he's even doing better than Claudio Echeverri, the super talent that Man City have recently signed themselves. So, you know what? I'm not opposed to us signing talents from this region. It won't be the first time or the last time that we sign serious talents from South America. And listen, I'm going to say it straight, I'm not an expert. I can't envision how the future could look like. Maybe clubs, they want to stockpile on talents because they feel like, I don't know, it's the best approach, it's the cheapest way to build for the future. I'm not an expert. I'm sure there's like many conversations around this. For me, if we end the season very well, I think possibilities do open up. I mean, if you're Franco, the situation at Madrid is not simple. I mean, Endrick barely plays. Arda Güler feels like he's underused, and this guy's an excellent talent. They seem absolutely stacked in those areas. I say this because I see Madrid as the main competition with us over the potential signing, but equally he is a very special talent, and if the club are ready to make a move for him, maybe they feel like, listen, to safeguard our ambitions, this is someone important for our network. So yeah, again, I feel like this won't be the last time I'm discussing Mastantuono links. How do you guys feel about this report? Let us know in the comments. Yeah, my friends, I think that's all the latest stories to get through today. I want to start doing more news videos, of course, in time for January coming up. I want to discuss maybe January plans and a lot more. And yeah, I'm hoping you guys are going to be excited by what's happening with the channel over the next month. So my friends, thank you for watching. I'm Nini FC. This is BlueLionsTV. See you all soon. Cool.